Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel Global. Today we are in Shenzhen, and behind me 40 years ago was a complete field of farmland. Today, Shenzhen has become one of the 4 largest megacities in China and one of the tech centers of the globe. However, amongst the 17 million population living in Shenzhen, there are only about 5 to 6 million population registered to this city. You want to know why? Well, follow through till the end of this video. The development of Shenzhen over the past 50 years has been nothing short of extraordinary. From a small fishing village in the late 1970s to one of the world's most dynamic and thriving metropolises, Shenzhen has become a symbol of rapid urbanization, economic growth, and technological innovation in China. In 1980, Chinese government designated Shenzhen as one of the first special economic zones, which allowed for more economic freedom and incentives to attract foreign investment. This laid the foundation for the city's rapid development and integration into the global economy. In 1978, the average income in Hong Kong was 50 times higher than in Shenzhen, formerly called Bao'an, and the GDP of Hong Kong was 260 times the GDP of Shenzhen. In 2018, Shenzhen's total GDP has surpassed Hong Kong for the first time. In 2022, Shenzhen's GDP reached $475 billion, while Hong Kong is estimated around $369. Although on a GDP per capita basis, Hong Kong is still ahead. Shenzhen is also home to some of the largest corporations in the world, with no less than 10 companies listed on the Fortune 500 global list, including Pingan, China's largest insurer, and one of the 9 global insurance firms identified as systematically important financial institutions, together with global giants like AXA and Allianz. Huawei, the world's biggest telecom equipment vendor and a tech giant in many other fields such as mobile phone and electric vehicles. Tencent is famous for its super app WeChat, but is also world's largest video game vendor. BYD is the world's largest EV manufacturer. Yes, including plug-in hybrids, BYD sold 500,000 vehicles more than Tesla in 2022. Other well-known brands from Shenzhen include world's largest drone manufacturer, DJI, world's largest shipping container manufacturer, CIMC, top 10 TV manufacturer in the world, Skyworth, top 5 telecom equipment vendor in the world, ZTE, and so on. So, in the first part of this video, we'll explain how Shenzhen has developed so fast in the last 40 years to become one of the largest megacities in China. And in the second part of the video, I will visit some of the largest tech companies in Shenzhen, as well as Huaqiangbei, to explain how Shenzhen has become one of the tech centers of the globe. Rome was not built in a day, so wasn't Shenzhen. As this map shows, all light green fields were rice fields before 1978. The metropolises we see today has been built by millions of people through more than 40 years of development. These millions of people come from all over China to build this city from nothing. During the peak period of urban construction in Shenzhen, the term Shenzhen speed represents the astonishing construction pace of many high-rise buildings, reaching up to 1 floor every 3 days and even pushing the limit to 1 floor every 2 days in some projects. Walking through the streets of Shenzhen today, you can feel the atmosphere of a modern metropolis everywhere you go, thanks to the millions of people building and maintaining this city. Now, what I really like about Shenzhen is, even though it's one of the 4 largest cities in China, even though it's a megacity, but it's brand new. It's very different than the other megacities I've seen around the globe. Everything is in order, it's very clean, it's very high-tech. You don't see the chaos that you normally see in other megacities around the globe. And that's what I think is really fascinating about this city. Trust me, During my 4-day stay, I have not seen a corner in Shenzhen that is shabby or filthy. And that is something I have never witnessed in my life. Not in New York, not in London, not in Paris, not in Berlin, not in Shanghai. Nowhere except Shenzhen. During workdays, despite being used, rental bikes are still arranged perfectly on the streets. Even though the pace in Shenzhen is as fast as other megacities in China, everything is in order. People follow the rules. Another reason why I really like Shenzhen is because of its inclusiveness. Just like the sign beside me, it says, once you're in Shenzhen, you're part of Shenzhen, or you're a Shenzhenese. And that is quite different than the other cities. I mean, you normally don't even hear people say Shenzhenese. It's not even a word, because everyone is coming from a different region. Everybody is coming from a different background, and you're always welcomed. And I think that's the reason why Shenzhen is so advanced and is growing so fast, is because of its inclusiveness. It's because if you're talented, you got opportunities here, and that's, I think, what makes this city really exciting. Traveling through the Shenzhen Metro is another fascinating experience. It just shows you how efficient and innovative this city is. First of all, constructing 16 metro lines spanning over 500 kilometers within 20 years is an incredible achievement in itself, let alone this city is on the coast. But the detailed designs are also remarkable. For example, I have never seen in other cities that the metro cabins would be separated by temperature. Cabin 1 to 5 as mild cold, and cabin 6 to 25 as rather cold. This is so nice for people that are sensitive to temperature. There are also priority cabins for women, which I have not found in other Chinese cities, besides having priority seats in each cabin.
Line 10 or line 14. Doors toward the next station open on the right. Please exit with all your belongings.
As well as having very clear directions and signs in Chinese and English. However, what has been controversial is the establishment of the world's first business class cabins on the Metro Line 11 that goes to the airport. The entire Line 11 is over 50 kilometers, and the price for the entire journey is 10 RMB, while the business class is 30 RMB. On a working day, you can see the difference between the business class cabin and the usual cabins. For people that need special care, such as pregnant or sick, or business people that are traveling to the airport, this can be really helpful. But for people that can't afford it, it creates extra pressure for the normal cabins. So this experiment has faced very controversial opinions. But this is the spirit of Shenzhen, a city that dares to try out new things. We are now at Lianhuashan North Metro Station. This is one of the busiest metro stations in Shenzhen. It is the transit station for 4 different metro lines. Every day there are over 200,000 people transiting through here. It is also very popular because of its very elegant and modern design. Quite some people are taking photos around, as you can see. The metro system in Shenzhen is so important for the functioning of the city, just like in other metropolises. On any given day, between 4 million to 9 million travels are made through the extensive yet still growing network. Another thing that I really like about Shenzhen is that even though it's a very modern city with a lot of skyscrapers, it also has quite some parks and some nature as well. And the parks often don't have gates. Not like most of the parks in other cities. There are often gates, and then you have to follow a certain schedule. They open at a certain time, like 8 a.m. and then close at 6 p.m. Here you can just walk into any parks that you would like to. Walking in the parks of Shenzhen, the subtropical monsoon climate just gives you a relaxing feeling, even creating a sense of being on vacation. So I am now sitting on the coast of Shenzhen. It's really nice to be so close to the sea. You can jog, you can walk along the coast, and it's really nice here. Behind me is the city center of Shenzhen, and on the right hand side of me, that is also Shenzhen. Now if you go further south and go through that bridge, you can cross over to Hong Kong. Another megacity that is super exciting, and it's also huge and amazing city. So maybe next time we'll cross over to Hong Kong and pay a visit there. Pearl River Delta is one of the most densely populated and urbanized regions in the world. The close distance between the few megacities, Guangzhou, almost 19 million population, Shenzhen, more than 17 million, Hong Kong, more than 7 million, and even the not-so-well-known Dongguan, nicknamed World's Factory, is home to 10 million. This scale also contributes to one of the most dynamic economies in the world. Not too far away from Huaqiangbei Park is the city center of Shenzhen. So we are now in the city center of Shenzhen, and behind me is the tallest building of Shenzhen, Pingan International Financial Center. Now, it is the second tallest building in China after Shanghai Tower and the fifth tallest building in the world. Today, we are not going to pay a visit on top of the skyscraper because, most skyscrapers are functioning the same way, though we are going to climb a mountain or a hill besides it so that we can have a full view of the tower as well as the whole city of Shenzhen. The hilltop we're going to is within Lianhuashan Park, and it is a popular viewpoint of Shenzhen. Most importantly, it is only 106 meters high, so not a very difficult walk. Now, if you ask me which city you should visit in China, I'll probably tell you, if you want to understand what happened in China in the last 1,000 years, visit Beijing. If you want to understand what happened to China in the last 100 years, go to Shanghai. If you want to understand what happened to China or what happened in China the last 50 years, visit Shenzhen. From top of the hill, not only can you enjoy the amazing view of the most modern city that civilization has ever built, but there is also an important statue for this city. Now, behind me is the statue of Mr. Deng Xiaoping, the man who decided to reform and decided to build this city, Shenzhen. He is probably the only reason, or the main reason, that this city exists today. Despite never being the president nor the chairman of China, and has been out of favor politically twice, including 4 years working in a factory because of his reformist economic policies. His policies and reforms have had a profound and lasting impact on China's development. The story of Mr. Deng Xiaoping is a fascinating read if you are interested. So, we have seen so many aspects where Shenzhen is far ahead of other cities. But are there any downsides of Shenzhen? Of course, no city is perfect. Shenzhen's super high real estate price on average is close to $9,000 per square meter, means that not everyone can settle down in the city. For millions of people, Shenzhen is only a place to work and earn money instead of spending their entire life here. Hence, why amongst the 17 million people living in the city, only 6 are registered here, despite that Shenzhen probably has the least strict requirement for a Shenzhen hukou amongst the megacities in China. Also, its education system has not yet developed as fast as the city has been growing, as there are only enough high schools for 40% of the kids in the city, and there is not a single Tier 1 university in Shenzhen, compared to 8 in Beijing, 4 in Shanghai, 2 in Guangzhou, while the highest ranked university, Shenzhen University, is not even ranked top 50 in China. But none of this will hinder the further development of this city. And walking around the city, you can still find new construction projects, like this area that is on the coastline. Even in the nights, mixed with this beautiful skyline, those blue lines are actually tower cranes that work over the nights. Witnessing this scene with your own eyes is just mind-blowing. So that's it for the first part of this video. In the second part of this video, which will be uploaded separately, we will visit Huaqiangbei Museum, BYD and Tencent's headquarters, and Huawei Town to understand how Shenzhen became the Silicon Valley of China and one of the tech centers of the globe. If you have any comments, questions, or topics that you would like to see in our next videos, feel free to comment in the section below. If you enjoyed our video today and our channel, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and share so that more people can see our awesome videos in the future. Here, we inspire learning, exchange, and business. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video.